That's right. Here we go on C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Hey, folks, we talk fast here because we have a lot to cover, right? And I am so delighted to have Trisha Ben, CEO of C-Suite Network, kick our event off for today. Trisha, over to you, dear. And
Kathleen,
by the
I
way,
am
let's take ourselves off mute and sparkle and give Trisha a big welcome. Woo!
and
A
and
big womp for you.
thank you, and a huge thank you to Kathleen. It is always my incredible honor to be able to be here. And as John Kennedy said earlier, there is nothing like the women's content across the C-suite platform. It's exciting. There's always so much happening here in the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, Kathleen, and how you come up with all of the incredible topics and serve the needs that we all have in terms of how we're thinking about our coaching, our consulting, how we're serving, delivering, and making sure that we're serving and delivering ourselves to see the success that we need. It's incredibly powerful and important, and I'm so grateful always. So as a formal introduction, Kathleen Caldwell, of course, is the CEO of Caldwell Consulting Group, and she's the founder of the C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council and the Women's Success Accelerator. She helps guide and mentor successful women in business to achieve greater impact, income, and thought leadership. And her clients are female executives and business owners who aspire to scale up their careers and businesses through strategic execution, guidance from an expert coach and advisor, and support from a global business sisterhood. Now, today is so exciting. And when we talk about thought leadership, this is exactly where this sits to the nth degree. So the topic today, be seen, celebrated, and highly paid, the official kickoff to World Appreciate Your Coach Consultant Week. And Kathleen, over to you.
Trisha, thank you. Thank you. My goodness, you are the epitome of leadership, thought leadership, stepping into your power. And we are so delighted to be in your halo, to be in your community, and to be a sister in life and business with you. So thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a really important topic, and I just am so delighted. Let's do this. Let's, if you would, lean in a little and give each other a little nod to say, hey, you're in the right place at the right time with the right people on our call today. So thank you. Thank you. So I'd love to just jump right in because today is all about, as you said, Trisha, how to be seen, celebrated, and highly paid. And I intentionally use these words because I'm going to share with you some statistics that are going to be very interesting to you. And this is the start of the official kickoff of World Appreciate Your Coach Consultant Day. So day and week, which is so great. We're taking a stand at our council. And thank you, Trisha, for the fabulous introduction. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of this fantastic C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching Consulting Council. I've been in the game of coaching and consulting. I've been a professional coach since 1998. I went to the second ICF conference in Greenleaf, Florida during a hurricane. And the metaphors for that are so relevant today is that we as coaches and consultants, we take the mantle to support our clients in very, very powerful ways. And sharing what that really means to us as coaches, I want to share that in just a little bit. But very quickly, we thank you, Trisha, for acknowledging and appreciating how we have every Thursday incredible programs that deliver so much value, and we're featuring you as our esteemed faculty members. So big shout out to Gloria St. Martin Lowry. Her program was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, check out the replay on our YouTube channel. She talked all about DEIB, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in the workplace, in society. It's changing what we need to know now to support our clients. And of course, we had a panel discussion a couple of weeks ago, which was fantastic, how to become the category of one as a coach consultant. And then also finally, we're really doubling down on the importance of you being a media empire, you being a media conglomerate. Your brand has to be seen and heard and paid, okay, and visible. So partnering with the C-Suite Network so that you can get your book published, get your podcast going, your TV show, and you can really be in the company of important people doing important things. So big shout out to C-Suite Network for that. And of course, Carol Kammerer, her program. Be sure to check it out on YouTube, all about the LinkedIn leadership leverage. She's got new programs you want to check out with her. Susan K. Younger, hello, launched a whole new movement about humanitarianism and how to be a humanitarian. Fantastic, very exciting. So, and we could go on and on and on about that, but every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we are here telling you, and sharing with you our faculty about important things. Okay, let's get to what's important this moment. I like to share statistics. And as you know, I did a screen capture from a year ago. And I love to get the historical perspective that literally a year ago, there are about 4.5-ish million coaches. As of a year later, we're at, according to LinkedIn, people that claim they have got coach in their title. You can see on the right-hand column about 4.9 million coaches. So we've had about 500,000 new coaches join in LinkedIn, declaring that in the past year. You can see at the bottom, consultants, about 27.8 million, about 28 million consultants. And then if you look to the right column, we're at almost 30 million coaches. So standing out is critically important. And I think, and I want to get the conversation going with you, all of you, is I think what the gap is. I don't think the gap is about skills. I don't think the gap is about commitment. I think that the appreciation of us as coaches and consultants is real. Okay. And I'm really doubling down on my thought leadership on this because it's, if we cannot, as Sheila Anderson always says, people need to know you before they need you. And so as coaches, there are some things that we have had growing in our coaching experience that have kept us stuck. And I call them hidden norms, things like, hesitant to ask for testimonials. We don't want to sound braggy, we stay quiet while others, our clients, rise faster than we do sometimes. And so I want to share with you also, what's happening now with coaches is when I took coach training school, I got all the credentials like you all did, is we were never taught to be the superstar. We were taught to be the sage on the side, to be the person that was the support behind our clients. And many of us come from helping professions, teachers, we want to be teachers and we want to help. But the things that we are doing, staying humble, serving, focusing on each other, on others, we want to keep doing that, but we are not taught. We don't have a strength. We don't have the ability yet to celebrate our clients while also asking to be celebrated. And the bottom line is this is costing us. And I want to get our conversation going here in a moment because we have been brought up, and I want to pause here for a moment. Many of us have been brought up to say, okay, it's this beautiful Midwestern nice, whether it's Midwestern Canada, the United States, or wherever it is that we want to do everything. And, oh, hey, it's this, it's just who I am and what I do. It's just, I do it because I love it. I would be a coach consultant, even if I were not paid. And the bottom line is many coaches and consultants are not getting paid. I'm just going to speak the truth about that. So I just want to pause and get your point of view on what's happening with our profession. So, things that are kind of underneath the surface that, ladies and gentlemen, our coaching and consulting business is not talking about, and we've got to talk about it so we can surface it. Okay. This whole thing about, hey, if you don't expect anything, then you'll never be disappointed, and just don't expect to be appreciated by your clients. So I just want to stop here and pause. And, it's this thing about, hey, the client is the client's the superstar. You're the one that stays behind. And I think that's fantastic. We should always do that. But what about the coach being acknowledged and appreciated? Okay. So let's get your voices in here. Were you ever taught in coach training school that you should, from day one, start asking for referrals and testimonials and having your clients be publicly appreciating you and telling the world, hey, Deb is my coach, Kathy's my coach, Sheila's my coach, John's my coach, Carol, Molly, Trisha, they're the people, they're my person that's helping me. They're my trusted advisor. We've been the best kept secret for way too long. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get your voices in here. What do you see as happening, and what's your point of view on this? Deb, I can see you're unmuted, girl.
So my trainer is Kathleen, and she, of course, has always said, you need to get what you are worth. You need to do all of this fabulous stuff. So when you learn from the best, right?
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. And I mean, we're a council of peers, right? We're a council of peers. If we don't model what we want to have happen with our clients, and I have to tell you, in all honesty, I'm not really good at this. We teach what we need to learn, right? And do. And so I'm not good at this. But John, I would love to get your point of view, because you're also bringing in, your perspectives also with sports. Athletes generally appreciate their coach, don't they?
They do. They do. What resonated with me was what you said here was the way I grew up, which was if you do good things, you shouldn't get paid for it, right? You just want to help people. And so this is powerful. Yeah, athletes makes a huge difference in them.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. And I think that, from my perspective, is these are the small little things that are keeping us from full visibility and from the fullness of our coaching profession. And I'll just say, from a big picture perspective, is there may be 3 million coaches on LinkedIn, but I'm not seeing 3 million testimonials or acknowledgments and or appreciation of, hey, this is what my coach helped me do, and I got this promotion because of my coach. Now, this is not a make wrong conversation, right, folks? This is not a make wrong. This is not anything. This is nothing to do with making our clients wrong. It's more of what's the expectation that we can now rise to starting today. It's a line in the sand. So jump in. I want to get your point of view. Yes, Molly, please.
So my point of view is I was trained to be a coach. I wasn't trained to be a business person, an entrepreneur. So there was a piece of knowledge that was missing. And I think from my perspective, many people go into the work because they love the work. And that's why we just keep showing up for that and then realize, oh, wait, there's this whole other thing I didn't think of because I'm just so passionate. I'm kind of tunnel vision. I'm doing the work. So that's my perspective.
Yes, Molly, thank you. And isn't there this assumption, and Tricia will come over to you, isn't there the assumption that when I do good work, I'll just be appreciated, or, I'll just be noticed, and, it's just going to take care of itself. Well, folks, it doesn't take care of itself, because we've been in the background as the supporter. And Sheila, you've said this, and it's like, blazed into my brain, is people need to know you before they need you. And so if we aren't out there also promoting our clients with the proper kinds of approvals, okay, there will be some clients that will never, ever, ever want to admit or appreciate their coach publicly. That's okay. But if we just at least get this to be the new norm, this is going to make a big difference. Yes. Tricia, jump in, and others want to get your point of view on this.
I was going to say that I think that's exactly the issue, Kathleen, is it's very challenging. It's very challenging in terms of the positioning as an executive to say that you have a coach. And organizations have systematically cut all budget to train, let alone coach and mentor and so on. So the valuing and appreciation of it is really challenging. And then for women, there's another whole layer of why do you need that recognition? And so for women, it's a real double-edged sword of bragging about what you're doing versus the fact that you've supported. So, Hero Club and our faculty of C-Suite are the groups that I work the closest with. And I do have some other official mentees that I work with. One of them is very public about it, and it's quite interesting. But I'm always, I never think, I never think to ask to share that publicly. I'm always actually just shockingly delighted when somebody shares something, because typically when I'm helping people is when they're really in trouble, because I have the general programming, right, which is kind of the day-to-day support and so on. And then, but what I'm really, really making a difference is when things are really bad, or really good and therefore very stressful. So I don't expect any of that to be shared. And as I said, I had someone recently, I walked through the worst thing they've ever gone through in their business. And after we got through it, a couple months later, they shared it with the whole of the Hero Club. And I was just, I had no idea they would ever share it. But it was wonderful. It was wonderful. So anyway, I find this incredibly challenging as well, Kathleen. And I keep coming back to the athlete example. There is no professional athlete that would expect to be at Olympic or national or even lower level success without having tremendous coaches. So, how we band together, how we support each other, how we showcase our success cases, I think there's something really important there. And I'm happy to support anything along those lines.
Tricia, thank you, because I think you're also demonstrating is we need advocacy as coaches to build that relationship with our clients as the trusted advisor. And in next Thursday's program is going to be all about the tactics of how to really build the referral, the recommendation, the testimonial relationship, the reciprocity in your relationship with your clients, and to normalize that, hey, it's good and it's okay to share to the degree, the vulnerability that your clients feel comfortable with. And so, yes, thank you. And how can our
Kathleen,
coaching and consulting business grow without this? Yes,
I
Tricia.
wonder, I wonder if we might want to think about going out of our way to publish success stories of those we coach, because
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so then it positions it very, very differently, and then we're also all serving as well.
I Fantastic. So that excellent. And that's one of the things that next Thursday we're going to talk about tactically how to do these things, but how to ask and when to ask and how to really create a culture. Ladies and gentlemen, you're creating a culture with your clients and you're creating the norms and here's how we'd like to do things, because this is also a pay it forward kind of strategy for us. And Molly, I so appreciate you saying this is really a business strategy. It's a business strategy, but also, folks, it's an appreciation strategy, because I think we have an appreciation gap in the world right now. Coaches, we have a specific purpose in the planet, to help rise the consciousness and the success and the health and the wealth and the mindset, all of that, just to raise the scale. So we get to do it and we get to be part of that and claim it and own it. Yes. So thank you. Others, what I want to share with you kind of some things that have gotten in the way for me personally is, I've viewed asking for testimonials and normalizing this as bragging. You just don't want to brag. That's something in the Midwest. We just don't want to brag. We don't want to be a bragger. What has come up for you when you think about asking for a testimonial or a referral or a success story? Jump in.
I used to
Yeah, I would agree. Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead, Molly.
Oh, I just completed a coaching engagement, and I do struggle like that humility of asking for a testimonial. But a former C-suite network friend, Christopher, had made a suggestion of, offering a giveaway, a random giveaway, if anybody would go and do this. And so I literally just hung up and that was, I'm getting red in the face. I can feel the heat right now. I made it about like, I would love to for you to give a testimonial. I'm going to do this random drawing for $100 gift card if that would entice you. So I actually talked about that because I was more comfortable talking about that than I was about, hey, would you please post on a Google testimony or whatever. So that was something, and I'm really appreciative of Christopher for offering that for me. So
Thank you, Molly. Thank you. Yeah, and I can't
Yeah,
wait for next week because we're going to get into tactics. Yes, too. That's great. John, thank you.
yes. So one of the things to me, it's I get such personal satisfaction out of it. I don't think about putting it out there, but someone the other day was just saying that when he starts his coaching in the very first session, he asks them, if we achieve these results, will you give a testimonial? So they know, and then they're much more likely to do it.
Thank you, John. Yes, yes. So normalizing the reciprocity of the relationship and the sacredness of the relationship. And
Right.
we're also going to talk about in a moment is this is also a stake in the ground for us as coaches and consultants. We're trusted advisors to be able to have our clients claim their success. If they're thinking about all the while we're planting seeds, hey, there may become a time when I will publicly declare my journey, declare my success. Hey, I'm proud of this. A lot of people are really it's hard for them to even do that, let alone acknowledge their coach, So this is a whole ripple effect that we're causing here. So yes, thank you. Sheila, you were jumping in too.
Yeah,
You want to get into more stuff? Yeah.
well, echo what Trisha said. So there are clients, right? There are higher end clients that don't want to acknowledge or let people know that they've had a coach. So
Yes.
there's that. And so what I'll do is a case study. So I'll write up a case study and I'll have them look at it. I'll write it up like this is what, right? It's the typical case study. Here's where they were before. Here's what we did. Here's what life is like after me, right? I mean, that's very typical. So, and then I'll have them look at that. So I'll write it for them, just from the interviews and stuff we've done. So that's helpful. Also, I just lost my train of thought. We were talking about so asking for testimonials. So I'll position it and say, I'm sure there's other people out there like you that have struggled. And if you give a testimonial or write some type of review, that will help them because, think of how you have felt and come along. And so I'll kind of position it that, you know what, you're helping other people. You're not really helping me. It's more about those other people out there that I could help, right? So that's how I position it. And I have to go at 12:30. I have another meeting.
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Sheila, golden nuggets. Thank you so much. Yeah. Great. 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 Good. Deb, you were jumping in as well. You are on mute there.
Unmute myself. I've never done this before. So, and Kathleen and I have talked about this. I am launching, hopefully, fingers, toes, and eyes crossed next week. So, this is all just, speculation, but I will be working with executives who have cancer. And many of them do not want anybody to know that they're going through this for a variety of reasons. So my thought is to ask them, okay, can we just do your first name and last initial? So that it's, we're getting their information out there. But then of course, asking them at the end, if you know somebody that this would benefit, please tell them. But it's a little weird because it's like, I'm wishing for people to be sick, but but the way we handle it is, I think we just need to be very careful, but there's certainly ways to do it.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Yes. And next week, we're going to talk about a lot of tactics, which we'll get into in getting on the court. And by the way, at the very end, I'm going to put in our chat our AI prompt so we can take today's content and be able to activate it. So thank you for being here live. One of the benefits of being here live is you get the great prompts. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. So let's continue on. And, one of the takeaways from today is my request is think about for yourself. You've all alluded to this. You've all mentioned this is what's the thing that you is between you and you asking and you saying, I don't think so. You know, asking, being bold and asking, and just take a look at like what could be underneath that, because there's some energy there. And if we look at masculine and feminine energy, which has nothing to do with male and female, just that masculine energy of moving forward, taking the next step, taking the initiative, moving in, stepping in. We need to assert that as coaches and consultants. We as humans, we've got to step into that and do it in a feminine way that works for you, with care and the appropriate connection. Okay. And this is all based on you've got the great relationship with your clients. Okay. You've got the trust. You've earned the right to do this. Okay. And so as as this happens, some of us, it's important to examine like what kind of mindset do we have? Is it that I'm receiving, and how many of you are really good at receiving? I'll just say I'm not a really good receiving. I'll promote others to the moon and back, but I'm not so good at receiving. So things to look at. This is more complex than we know. And back in time a little bit, and notice I'm telling a little here, is remember when you were a kid. Hey, when we were all kids, we loved our teacher. Oh my goodness, our teacher was just, you know, fantastic. And we would tell everybody about our teacher. We so appreciated our teacher. And we were a community of peers appreciating our teacher. So I want to bring us back to, hey, revering the teacher. Okay. And there's a cost that I want to bring up here. Okay. So if we must move in this direction, because if we're invisible, it's expensive, right? If you know that you're not asking every time, and as you mentioned it, Deb, every unshared testimonial is a lost opportunity. And it's a lost opportunity for our clients to claim their results. Okay. And also, it's people don't get to see the results of others. We're not creating an acknowledgement or appreciation community, which we want to. Okay. And so keeping quiet as coaches is we can't continue to do this anymore. Okay. And so it also is undervaluing our work. All right. And I think also to normalize what coaching is. Okay. At every opportunity, if you can get out there, when you get out there and you normalize, here's what coaching and consulting is. Here's what it's not. We know that coaching and consulting is not therapy. Okay. We know that therapists, licensed clinical social workers, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, they do therapy. We do not do therapy. Okay. So to normalize for our clients that, hey, this is what coaching is. Okay. They don't need to reveal their souls. This is not about going back into their childhood and revealing things like that. No, that's therapy. Okay. That is confidential, and rarely do clients, patients as they're called, talk in public about their therapist. But we're not therapists, folks. We're coaches and consultants. And so we want to normalize this. And of course, what's possible is that we get to experience more income. Okay. I will just say this. The golden $1 million bill is what's possible for us. And we do this because we've got to fuel our business, right? We can't be doing this on charity. We've got to be able to bring in the income, which is the fuel of our business. And it's also the reciprocity. The bottom line is the ICF just did its recent survey. I just participated as an ICF member, International Coach Federation. I just took the survey, and I am very, very clear what they're going to report on is pretty similar to last year, that the average income of a coach in the United States of America is less than $60,000 a year. Okay. Folks, we can't continue to be doing the work we're doing. Now, $60,000 is a lot of money around the world, but we know to build a business and a media business where we're going out and we're doing great work, we got to fuel the business. Okay. So this is, as Molly said, this is a business strategy. it's also a client relationship strategy. Okay. And so to move in and very quickly is this is not about vanity. We've got to really push this aside. This is not about, hey, I'm so great. This is fantastic. This is an ego trip. No, that a strategy around being appreciated and having referrals and recommendations and visibility means you're going to get more referrals. You're going to get recognition, revenue, and visibility equals value. All right. So this is a business strategy. All right. And, we just mentioned a while ago is, hey, teachers, this is a norm for teaching. This is a norm for us is to be able to be appreciated and acknowledged by our clients. Let's normalize it. All right. And I want to also pause here in a moment, but I want to also acknowledge that this book, if you haven't read this book, highly recommend it. This is a book about Bill Campbell. Who is familiar with Bill Campbell? Okay, hello. This is the equivalent of, and I just want to pause here for a moment, is everybody who knows Warren Buffett? You know Warren Buffett? Okay. Do you know Charlie Munger? Okay. Charlie Munger is Buffett's coach, consultant, sage, trusted advisor. He's the guy on the side that was really the strategist for so many financial titans. And so it's normalizing for us, just like Bill Campbell. There was a book written, and as I mentioned, that Eric Schmidt wrote this book acknowledging and appreciating Bill Campbell. Bill Campbell was the coach of coaches in Silicon Valley. He was the titan behind so many startups like Google, like Uber, and all of the CEOs. He did team coaching and he was fantastic, but we didn't know about him, right? We just knew about the business successes. And, sadly, this book was written after Bill Campbell passed. Okay. That really just really hit me in a real heart space because Bill Campbell deserved to have more visibility. Okay. He gave his life to coaching and he needed to have him be more visible. He didn't seek it, but the world of coaching and for coaches, we needed him to be more visible. Okay. So today is again the line of demarcation that I'm on a rant here, ladies. I'm on a mission that we normalize and we accelerate our visibility in the world as coaches. Okay. So just want to pause and get your point of view on here. What are you thinking? What's going on for you? Are you in? Do you like this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy Dirksen, this is all about what you're doing with having women become published authors and bringing in their visibility. So what a great tactic in what you do. Jump in, want to get your point on this, point of view, and Carol too. Yes.
One of the things I was thinking while listening to all of this conversation is the idea that it would be helpful for us to each be kind of sponsoring each other, like whether it's on LinkedIn recommendations or things like that. And that idea that when you hear somebody else say, so-and-so is doing wonderful things, it's a whole different perspective than us saying it about ourselves. And so that was one thing that I've been doing with a couple of my friends is that we just share those recommendations on LinkedIn and other places like that.
Great, great, great. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So a great strategy. And you'll notice that I put a prompt. Thank you for being here live. You get the AI prompts that you can start using. And this could also, these are prompts that you could substitute partner name or colleague name. And you could adjust this kind of the words in here, but you can, I think the takeaway from today is to start moving into asking more and power partners on this type of thing. And let's start ramping it up for specifically the next week. We're going to get some momentum. So on our LinkedIn page, the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, every day we're going to have a powerful prompt and a powerful post to get people in action to start to become more visible. Okay. So check out our LinkedIn page and you can see there are a whole variety of posts to ask someone for a testimonial or for visibility. Okay. Very, very good. Great. Thank you. Carol, you are all about helping executives level up their visibility so they can be visible and ready, willing, and able for new executive opportunities. So this is what you do in your work as well. It's important to you. And you are on mute, dear. Mhm.
So early on, when I was working with executives, I was so hurt when people said to me, no, I can't write you a testimonial because I don't want anybody to know. And that was really hurtful. So
Yeah.
I began to talk to people in advance of helping about how important those are. And I've been very successful in getting testimonials from my one-on-one clients. What remains sadness in my heart is that my group people were much harder to get testimonials from. Well, I have a great testimonial from Deb. It did take some controlling, but
right. Yes. Yeah.
but
Thank you. Yeah.
but I have been able to use her testimonial to good effect, and but I helped so many others, and they, all said yes, we're enthusiastic about doing it. And then did they do that? No. And you asked a couple times, and it's like,
Yeah, very, very, very common, Carol. And so next week's program, be sure to come back next week because we're going to have a whole new set of activation prompts. But next week is all about taking action. So this is going to be a really a program that's going to be, we get on the court here, using the athletic analogy, let's get on the court and reactivate the testimonials and reactivate the whole program and mindset. Yeah, it's a process that we also, I think, can take responsibility for educating our clients too, for the importance of it. So if we educate and we normalize it and give people a process, and there's all kinds of strategies we'll talk about next week on how to do it. But this is a new wave, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting a new Appreciate Your Coach Consultant Client Week this week. So we're getting going. Good. Okay. So let's go ahead and complete here. And, it's time for us to step into the spotlight. It's time for us to really claim and own the work we do in the world. All right. We cannot be the best kept secret anymore. And that our philosophy in the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council is when one of you rises, we all rise. Okay. We're all flying in a similar direction. We may be going in different parts of the world, or we may be doing different types of coaching and consulting, but we're all moving forward. And so when one person, you get one testimonial, one acknowledgement, one appreciation, one new visibility for yourself, your work, the things that you're doing, or your communities. I mean, there are thousands of ways to be appreciated and acknowledged in the world. When one person does it, we're starting a big wave. Okay. And that's what we need to do. Now, guess what? This is going to take us being fierce. All right. How many of you are up for being fierce? We've got to be fierce about this, right? I think for me, I've been kind of sitting back a little bit, hoping and wishing and praying and nudging and reminding and sometimes a little nagging. Okay. We don't want to do that. We got to be fierce. So we will next week talk about our system on how to do this. And you are becoming another category in the category of one. And so from this, we've got to be out there. We've got to be visible, and we have got to set new standards. All right. So declaring that we are doing the World Appreciate Your Coach Consultant Week, not a day, but we are doing the week. We're getting it formally registered that every year at this time, we're going, now that we do it after April Fool's Day, okay? So we're going to have an entire week, and this is the month before the International Coach Federation International Coaching Week. So it's just a week in May. We're a month before because the ICF International Coaching Federation Week is fantastic, and it's a lot about competencies. Okay. We need the competencies, but this is about being seen, being heard, being paid, and being connected to our clients. Okay. So starting this, and next week, we're going to have talking about visibility. How do we actually get in the game? And this, we're going to be tactical, but also have some mastery skills next week about how to do this. All right. All right. So with that, thank you. Schedule a time with me. Let's talk about your business. Where are you going? How you're going to step into this. Can't wait to talk with you about this. And I'm curious, what's your biggest takeaway from our time together? Your biggest takeaway. Jump in. And I think we're going to even have some celebrations next week. I'm very sure of it, of some of you who have taken control and taken the next step, getting you closer to your cash, your fuel, your jet fuel for your business, and have gotten a testimonial. So your biggest takeaway from our time together. Love to get your voices in here.
So I really liked what Sheila said in terms of making it about other people. Your testimonial will help others recognize that they need this similar help and whatever. I thought, oh, why didn't I ever think that? So I thought
Absolutely.
that was excellent.
And it's aligned with our whole model that we're talking about, which is the before, the breakthrough, and the benefit. This fits right into this whole model that we're learning in the Women's Success Accelerator of to be more seen and to have other people talk about, hey, this is what's possible for me now. And people will say, oh, I want that too. I want that too. I need to contact Carol because I want that too, right? And isn't that what we want? Is we want other people to see the transformation and then book us and schedule us and hire us. So yeah, thank you, Carol. Excellent.
Yeah.
Who else? Biggest takeaway? Jump in. Molly, please.
Going off of Sheila as well is case studies. I liked that she said, I think it's helpful because I have some people that wouldn't give testimonies or whatever, but if I write it, like she said, she writes and then she has them review it.
Yeah.
Well, I can do that.
Excellent.
And then right, it's about making it easier for them in this case. So I love that idea. That's what I'm walking away with.
Thank you, Molly. Fantastic. Great, great, great. Yeah, and kind of getting some personas of you get to see these are the kinds of outcomes that I get, and in building up your repertoire of testimonials and referrals and all of that. Great. Thank you. Thank you. John, jump in. We're so glad you're here today.
Yeah, my thing was just be more intentional about promoting myself, right? And asking for, the whole idea, if you don't ask, you won't get disappointed. Well, we don't want to be disappointed, right? But that's a risk that we can take that'll have tremendous rewards. Just be, more intentional about it.
Thank you, John. And you have worked with thousands of people around the world, John. The positive impact of all of your social proof, it's fantastic. It's really good. And it's time now, right? It's time for all of us.
Exactly.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, John. Yeah, we got to give up that Midwestern humbleness, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Develop a New York attitude, right?
Right. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Great, John. Who else? Biggest takeaway? Jump in.
I'll say, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that reminder, because it's true, it comes up in our minds. Oh, I should do that. I should be more intentional with that. And then it kind of drifts away as other things take priority. So it's great to get that next reminder again that no, this needs to get done. You need to do this, make a habit of it, create a system.
Thank you. That's right. Thank you, Kathy Dirksen. Part of our culture, part of how we do business, right? and it's part of a request and expectation. And hey, we can also write a testimonial for our clients too. I'm not saying that, it has to be like a reciprocal kind of thing exactly, but I like to do that. Hey, if they're going to give to me a testimonial, I want to also support them too. That's our natural inclination, isn't it, folks, to be giving like that, but the receiving, we got to build up that strength. Yes, thank you. Deb Creer, biggest takeaway. You dropped a
There's-
lot of golden bombs there.
There's nothing wrong with it. And we owe it to everybody
Right.
else
Yes.
to share, enjoy, appreciate our wisdom and our help.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. All right, giving you a little sparkly fingers up here. Sparkle, sparkle. Hey, let's go, folks. We'll see you next Thursday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Check in the chat. You also got an AI whole set of prompts you can start using right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a beautiful week. Okay. Thank you. Let's
Thanks.
go get those testimonials. Okay. Mwah. Bye.
See you,
See you
everybody.
next week.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.